Buying a condo is not like buying a single family home. If you have plans of buying a condo this year, you need to be aware of the differences, or it could cost you money and it will bring you frustration. This video will bring you up to speed of what to expect when buying a condo. My name is Larkin and I'm a real estate agent here on the Space Coast. And when I'm not making videos like this one, I help people buy and sell real estate. So whether you're moving next week, next month, or next year, I am certain that you have questions and I'm here to help. I'll have a link in the description that'll take you to my calendar. Let's schedule a discovery call, and my contact information is there too. Hopefully, you know, when you're buying a condominium, there are rules and regulations, there are condo docs, there are bylaws, and there could also be amendments to all of these documents too. And when you purchase a condo, Florida statutes give you 3 business days to review all the documents when you're doing a resale, and 15 days to review these documents when you're purchasing a brand new condo. The seller at the seller's expense are supposed to provide you all of these documents along with the financials. These required documents and some other information are part of the FAR condominium writer, which is a document I use when we work together to present an offer on a condominium here in Brevard County. It's a 3-page document that covers a lot, and if you'd like to have a copy of it, just let me know. Besides those requested documents I just mentioned, there's also a section on there about first right of refusal. A lot of condominiums that were built in the 60s and 70s had this provision, and it's fairly common with condos that are in the Cocoa Beach and Cape Canaveral area, which is why I'm outlining it first here in this video. Condominiums that have the first right of refusal, once a unit that's listed for sale goes under contract with a bona fide buyer, that sales contract is then presented to all of the owners in the complex, and they have a decision to make if they want to buy it based upon the exact terms as how it's written or pass on the sale. The time frame that they have to look at this offer to make the decision really depends on how the condo docs are written up. I've seen it as low as 7 or 10 days or as long as 30 days of a time frame for the association to get the offer in front of these owners for them to make a decision. Fortunately, with technology, this, even though it might be a 30-day time frame, it's kind of streamlined because of email getting in front of them and having a quicker decision on whether or not they're going to move forward with it. But if a homeowner does say, yes, I want to buy it based upon those terms, you're no longer buying that condominium. If you are planning on making an offer on a condominium that has this first right of refusal, here are some suggestions to include in your offer. Since you know there's going to be 10 to 30 days for the first right of refusal to happen, keep that in mind as you're putting in time for when the escrow's due, your time frame for the home inspection, and also the loan approval period. If it takes 3 weeks for all of the first right of refusal to happen and you apply for your loan early and you're paying for the appraisals, etc., and somebody exercises that right, then you're out that money. I'd like to try and start all of the time frames once we're through the first right of refusal. On the offer itself, if you increase the amount of money that you have in your escrow deposit, instead of putting 2 or 3% of the purchase price down, make it significant. Make it 25 to 30% or more of the purchase price. The reason for this is the seller who's deciding to exercise the right of first refusal has to match those terms. So they need to have the funds available to put 25% down in escrow once they exercise their right. Making your offer all cash, if you have that ability, is also something else that could minimize sellers from exercising their first right of refusal. Because if they don't have the funds to write a check for everything, then they might not exercise it. With that being said, though, most of the sellers that take advantage of the first right of refusal, they're cash buyers. And finally, make the closing time frame as short of a period as possible. If it is a 20-day first right of refusal, have it close on day 22 or day 23. If they have the funds for the larger escrow deposit and they have the funds for paying cash at closing, for example, they might not be able to get it done within that time frame, and that would make it more difficult for them to exercise the right of refusal. The pro to purchasing a condo that has this first right of refusal is once you become a homeowner, you have an opportunity maybe to take advantage of a deal yourself. Somebody's buying the unit 2 doors down, exceptionally low price, and you want to purchase that one as well, then you could exercise that first right of refusal too. If you're getting a loan and you're buying a condo, brace yourself. If you're buying a single family house with a loan, it's a lot easier. Once you qualify and the home appraises, it's pretty much a done deal. However, with a condominium, yes, it has to appraise. Yes, you have to qualify, but so does the condominium association. More than likely, you're using conventional financing that has Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae guidelines. They want to know the ins and outs of a condominium. They have a condo questionnaire that's 8 pages long that goes over a slew of questions to make certain they're comfortable doing a loan. What's the owner to tenant ratio? What's the master insurance policy like, and what is being covered with it? What are the deductibles? What are the reserves like for the building? Are they completely funded? They're going to ask for a copy of the condo minutes for the last 6 months, and they're going to review all of them. Are there any repairs noted in the minutes? Are these repair safety issues? Have they been repaired? Is there a milestone inspection available for the complex? Have they done their structural reserve study? Are there any upcoming assessments? If there are assessments that are due, are the owners current? Are there any owners that are behind on these payments? And are any owners behind on any of the regular condominium dues? Past years, you had an option. I'll put 25% down and request a limited condo review. That's no longer an option. No matter what your down payment is, if it's a Fannie or Freddie Mac type loan, they are going to review everything. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the 3-day condo review that you have of the documents yourself once you receive them. I highly recommend you look at the restrictions for the complex to see if what they say is not allowed is okay with your lifestyle. Most condos have some type of pet restriction. They could limit the number of pets you have and the size of the pets, even the type of pets that you have, birds or reptiles, for example. They might only want domestic animals like a cat or a dog. And whether you have a pet now or maybe plan on having a pet in the future, it's good to know what these restrictions are to see if it makes sense. Rental restrictions are a huge one to look at. Whether you plan on living in the condo or making it a rental property. They allow daily or weekly rentals, and you're living there, you're going to have different neighbors throughout the year at a regular pace on vacation. If you plan on buying it for a rental property, like short-term rentals specifically, there are some condominiums that have a 6-month minimum, a 12-month minimum. They don't allow rentals at all. I saw one today that you had to own the condominium for 6 years before you could use it as a rental property. And that would be important to know. Even if you are buying the condo to move in yourself, there's that chance that down the road you might want to use it as a rental property, and it's important to know what these rental restrictions are no matter what your circumstances are. Check the vehicle restrictions. The association might not allow motorcycles, pickup trucks, commercial vehicles there, and that could have an impact on you. Also, if you have anything that's on a trailer or an RV, you might not be able to park it at the property, or if they have a section for RVs, boats, and trailers, is there availability for you? Same thing if you're looking at a condo that's on the river and you see boat slips. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're available for you. Are these boat slips deeded for each condominium, which would be great, or are they some type of common area? They might have less slips available than what there are units available, so if you planned on getting a boat to park on that boat slip, it might not be available for you. Whether you want to read through all these condominium documents or not, it might make sense to hire a real estate attorney to review them for you. Remember, these condo docs are legal documents that once you become an owner, you're responsible for following. Surprisingly, the condominium minutes are not some of the required documents that are on that R-Bar condo rider that I told you about at the beginning of this video. You still need to ask for them as part of the sales contract, and you need to review them. Reviewing these minutes will give you an insight on how the condominium's being run. It'll also give you an insight if there's any issues that are coming up that you need to be aware of. And remember, this request needs to be part of your initial offer so that the seller will agree to get them to you within a specific time period. If you weren't aware, there's been some changes with our Florida laws, Florida statutes regarding condominium ownership. If a condo anywhere in the state is 30 years or older, 25 years or older if you're close to the ocean, and at least 3 stories tall, it's going to be required by the end of 2024 that all of these condos have a milestone integrity inspection done on the property to make certain that it's safe and secure. And these inspections are supposed to be done every 10 years after that. If the association that you're looking to buy has had one done, then as a buyer, you're eligible to request and review that document just to see the condition of the property. Is it safe? Is it secure? The other change in Florida law and Florida statutes is by the end of 2025, all condominiums need to have the milestone integrity reserve study completed by the end of 2025, and the condominium needs to be fully funded. This reserve study looks at the cost of a new roof, the cost of painting a building, resurfacing the pool, concrete work on the balcony. They look at the budget, and if your roof needs to be replaced in 10 years, for example, that line item for the roof needs to be fully funded by that 10th year. For condominiums to become fully funded, they are either raising their association fee in stages, a little bit in 24, the rest of it in 2025, or they're doing some type of assessment to make certain that the association has healthy reserves to be fully funded by the end of 2025. And I go into more details on both the reserve study and the milestone inspection report in another video. I'll have a link below. I hope you found this information helpful if you're planning on purchasing a condo here in Florida in the upcoming year. And again, if you have any questions about the information that I've gone over here today or your upcoming move, remember, I am here to help. I'll have a link in the description to my calendar where we can schedule a discovery call. And of course, my contact information is there as well. Just give me a call or send me a text. My name is Eric Larkin with Real Brokers. I appreciate you stopping by, and I'll see you on the next video.